What is going on, everyone? Before we get into today's video, I want to give a big shout out to A1 Comics for A1 Wednesday. Don't forget to follow them on Instagram. Their link is in the description below. They have live sales every Wednesday and Friday on the IG. Don't forget to check them out on Twitch every Thursday as well. What is going on, everyone? Chris with Journals, Comics, and Pop Culture. And in today's video, we are discussing World War Hulk movie rumors. This first got started, I think, almost 2 years ago now. We're going to dive into all those rumors from way back and connect the dots to where we're at today. I do want to say there will be spoilers for the end credit scene of She-Hulk episode 9, the season finale. So if you have not watched that episode yet and you do not want that end credit scene spoiled, please pause the video, save it for later, and come back after you do. Now, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please take some time to hit that subscribe button and check all the links in the description below as well. But we're just going to get right into this. I'm looking at Cover Price's. Big shout out to Cover Price. I use them daily. This is Cover Price's top 10 hottest selling comics of this week. It populated yesterday. It populates every Monday while I'm filming this on a Tuesday. What do we see here, folks? We see a lot of Hulk stuff. Why? Again, we had Scar show up in the end credit scene in the last episode of She-Hulk. So I'm going to dive into this without sugarcoating anything. This is going to relate all the way back to Geeks Worldwide. Okay, this is a blog site / website, whatever you want to call it, that almost 2 years ago now, I believe, posted an article that was grammatically horribly written, for one, stating that it has been confirmed. They had confirmed that a World War Hulk film was in production, that Marvel now owns the rights from Universal, and that production, that they already had a script going, if I remember correctly. But they also stated that it was set to start production and start filming in 2021. Well, folks, it's almost the end of 2022 now, and none of those things came to fruition. But yes, I mean, we do have Scar showing up. Something's going on with Hulk. Something big is going to be going on with Hulk, and that is a fact. But I want to put things in perspective, because a lot of you may have watched that video that I did back then calling them out. And you may be thinking, man, look what's going on. Journo, you were wrong. Here's why I was not wrong, folks. First off, you can follow the breadcrumbs. I say this about a lot of scoopers. Scoopers are in a business, especially when they're dealing with MCU stuff. You know, you have such an expansive universe that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where you can follow the breadcrumbs and look at what they've done over the last 14 years now. And you could create a blog site, make it look like an official website, buy your little $12 domain name, whatever, use Wix or Wiggly or whatever their names are to, you know, drop and paste your website to look professional. And I could do this, and I could sit here and say, so-and-so confirmed. This person confirmed, that person confirmed. Why? Because if we understand one thing about the MCU right now, it is that we are going to see everyone and everything at some point. And that's just a fact of the matter, folks. Follow the breadcrumbs. Okay, we have the horror genre coming up. So I could sit here and say Dracula coming soon. I could say Midnight Suns has been confirmed, right? Which, that's a whole other issue. And sooner or later, they're going to happen. It doesn't mean, though, that anything's confirmed. I'm pulling the stuff out of my ass, throwing it against the wall to see if it'll stick. Like the analogy that my good friend and partner Jeff from Comic Book Canon always says, throw it at the wall, see what'll stick. Here are the facts, folks. Here are the facts. Still, to this day, October 2022, Marvel does not have the rights to a Hulk solo film. Now, even when you go down to websites like The Direct, The Direct is a popular site. A lot of people use them for their news source. But folks, they are not always credible, and I'm going to show you why. But before I show you why, I do want to pull up something that is a credible source. And that is this right here, the Security and Exchange Commission. They are a credible source, and we have the official filings right here that show that Universal holds the Hulk movie rights for 15 years, which would expire June 2023. You don't believe this article right here from Wow News or WD News Today, which to be honest, I'm not familiar with them. I'm not, but look what we do have. The official filing right here from the United States Security and Exchange Commission. Right here, you can read through this. It states all of those facts and all of those details. All right? This is a fact. So you go back 2 years to when Geeks Worldwide did, and I'm not even pulling up their article. You guys could go search them. Everything that they said was false. It was false. No, Marvel did not hold the rights. They still don't. No, they did not have a script already written, and production wasn't set to start in 2021. None of that happened. None of it. But look at this. The direct. Go down into this article. And even when certain sites cite other sources, they're not citing credible sources. Because you can read this article, and we're going to go all the way down to this, where they say, rumors have previously spread to suggest Disney may have regained the rights, but have yet to be supported by anything definitive. Now, at least, I mean, this is proper context, because they say rumors have previously spread, suggesting, so they are using proper context, but they also state that it's nothing definitive. But then they go on to say Marvel Studios has also been reported to be developing a World War Hulk movie following on from the events of the Disney Plus She-Hulk show. So we click this, and what do we go to? First off, we go to another direct article. It doesn't even go to anything that provides evidence of that until you get deep into this article, and it comes up to the last paragraph here where it says, while the series was initially revealed as a legal comedy, new reports have indicated it may be a lot bigger than that, as it sets the stage for a major Hulk project on the way. Now, it seems like it did, right? If you look at that end credit scene, it seems like it absolutely did. But we don't have any concrete evidence of what that means, because you click on this, and it goes to another direct article that says, new movie rumor to adapt World War Hulk plot. Okay? Now, this is a year old, and it goes back to what? What is the direct reporting on? Where is it? Right here. The GWW, who has no credibility. And I want to remind you all, when anybody brought, whether it was on Twitter and they said, hey guys, you don't have any credible sources. When anybody called them out saying, where are your sources? Let me remind you how they responded. They acted like schoolyard children, bullying, bad-mouthing, using very foul language, being completely unprofessional. And when you dive into who they are, the person writing a couple of these articles seemed to be a minor. He was just a kid, a teenager, and it's one individual that is running this maybe out of his own apartment or who knows where, okay? So this is what I'm trying to say to you all first and foremost, is you got to check your sources. Now, what does that say about the speculation in terms of people buying into these books? It's valid right now. Right now it's valid because something's coming and we have Scar. So we also know that Marvel could be planning this. They're setting it up as much as they can for when they get the rights back. I mean, we knew that day probably would come, right? I mean, they've shown us with X-Men. They've shown it with Fantastic Four and what they did with Fox. They've shown us that even when they can't get the rights back to certain characters, aka Spider-Man, they're still being aggressive in making those type of deals happen to where they can still partner on the use of those characters. So why wouldn't they try to, be proactive in saying, okay, we know that we could get them back at this point in time. Let's start putting our ducks in a row. Now, whether or not it's a Planet Hulk movie or loosely based by the storyline. And because that's what MCU does. Everything isn't straight from the comics. They pull things from here and there and combine them up. I definitely think we're going to see something like that. But we have to make sure that the legalities are out of the way, and then we'll watch it unfold, folks. So my point is this, guys. When you are speculating on comic books and you want to go after comic books, first and foremost, as always, buy what you love. If you're really in it for flipping or for short-term holds and you're in it for that ROI, just make sure you understand the risk. It's okay if you take a loss, if you overpay, because you're in it to gamble, right? If you want to balance it out, don't think that you need to go speculate and buy everything. Focus on stuff that more interests you still. Now, you don't have to wait until we get an end credit scene, because what have I said before? Once a book ends up on these top 10 lists, you miss the boat. Now, and don't take me stating you missed the boat as like black and white. They'll go up. We probably, who knows when we'll see Scar again. It may cool off. These books are going to probably cool off a little bit until we get an actual announcement of seeing that character again, or in a trailer for a film, et cetera, et cetera. Then they'll peak up again maybe. So, it's not the end of the world if you missed out on them. You can still maybe find them out there on a cool out period and still have a chance for them to increase over time. So you always want to be proactive, but you don't need to wait for articles that don't have credible sources, that are using some teenage blogger that's not credible at all, to tell you when to make your purchasing decisions. Here's my suggestion. When we saw what we saw in Thor Ragnarok, you could have did your own research. You could have went and found the actual documents from the Securities and Exchange Commission, and you could have said right then, you know what? I'm gonna speculate on some Scar books or on some World War Hulk books, because you could have got them dirt cheap. Don't wait to speculate when you see them on top 10s, but don't sit and speculate on them just because some blog posing as a scooper puts out an article saying confirmed, because it has not been confirmed, and it has still not been confirmed. We all can do our own due diligence in foreshadowing, right? That's why I'm doing my due diligence on everything Silver Surfer in Galactus. That's why I went out and made sure I secured a FF 48, 49, and 50. That's why I went out and bought every single Silver Age and Bronze Age Fantastic Four book that both Galactus and Silver Surfer shown up in. That's why I'm all in on, I was all in on Nova before, we had the Nova Corps show up in Guardians #1, and that was enough for me to go speculate on some Nova books, both Novas. That's why once we had Guardians of the Galaxy, I was all in on Quasar. Because, hey, it's Galactic Quasar. Makes sense. That's why when we knew that Spider-Man was going to get another trilogy, and it was going to be darker and broodier, whatever, street-level themed characters. We all can be our best scoopers. And to go out there, budget our money appropriately, focus on what we love, if that matters first and foremost, and then focus on the gambling. And make our own decisions without having to rely on the FOMO hype once we get a trailer, once we get an announcement, or the falsified hype of wannabe scoopers that are acting like they can confirm things that are false. That's my video for today, folks. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Let me know if you are even still speculating on anything related to World War Hulk. Thank you all for watching. And again, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please take some time to do so. And another huge shout out to A1 Comics. Don't forget to go check out their links below. Check out their Instagram live sale tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 3 hours, folks. Be well, everyone, and until next time.